Okay, I truth can show you date and time of an x-ray. This is not meant to be like explicit in any way, shape, or form, not to be weird or anything, but I'm going to remove my blouse and I'm going to show you something on my collarbone. And I'm also going to see if I can plank. I have not been able to work my upper body on this side for sure, but I always try to keep moving. Like if you were around me, you will realize whether I'm in the classroom or in church. I had a yoga instructor years ago that was like, I was like, don't get too weirdo on me. She like taught us how to roar. Like there's a lion, like this. Anyway, without going and digressing too far into my yoga instructor from Dana, and yes, I still remember her name, and yes, I know what her husband's company is, and you know, whatever. I grew up on a farm and pretty much was, yeah, I mean, dirt don't hurt, right? And so, my grandmother is 100 and years old, and
because of two,
can I please say,
makes us very out.
8 months, almost 8 months. It'll be 8 months the 31st of, well, the 30th, I can't remember if August has 30 or 31. Anyway, point being, both my mother and my paternal women, grands, my children's greats, so great grandmother, great aunt, well, the aunt thing gets a little cloudy, but you know what I mean, are strong, and one is 98 and one is 100. And so 108/12, and if you want to reduce that and do the, decimal system, I don't care. But your muscle and your bones and that kind of health is just of the greatest importance, gals. And so I don't care what stage of life you are in. And same for you guys. Now, men, some reason, somehow, again, I kind of have a mom bod, so forgive me here. But, maybe I should just like loosen it. So I've been wearing my bra strap. There's nothing sexy here going on, people. I mean, this is like a sports bra, and unfortunately, even this is all like bunched up. That's the like pillow that goes over or whatever. Well, anyway, like this shoulder is broken right here. I don't know. That's about the size of a turkey leg. Okay, it's clavicle. And I worked really a lot to move and lift my arm. I did the exercises that were recommended from the hospital, so I didn't freeze my shoulder. I made sure that it didn't get atrophied, but I also did other things like propped it up. I do not know. I just want my body to heal. Like nerve pain, hopefully not nerve damage, cracked bones, whatever. Yes, broken in half. Part of it technically is cracked. Like you zoom in and look at it from a nano view and it's like, geez, like that's pretty damn ugly because the crack is pretty, like, now I understand why when my daughter was getting treated in Chicago and her kneecap was broken in 3 different places, that this could actually be similar to, and close your eyes right now and imagine like glass, and imagine that your bone on your knee is like glass, cracked glass. Like imagine a little stone goes flying up on your windshield, Most people in America can relate to this. Most people in America have vehicles. They have cell phones. And so, you know, I say nano, but all I mean is the Cleveland Clinic orthopedic surgeon turned the computer, zoomed in just like anybody would on a photograph, x-ray, nothing super scientific here, but he told me he could see that there's calcium healing. The bone is actually connected. I thought from the x-rays that were shown to me by a local orthopedic office and what was said to me that, you know, I was probably 50-50, and I quote, 50-50 candidate for surgery. And the Cleveland Clinic orthopedic surgeon said, absolutely not. You are not a candidate. So my big thing is when I get hurt, like, or if I get cut, you know, I clean it. Soap and water. It used to be soap, water, iodine, peroxide, alcohol, all these things. But like back in the bad old days, I suppose like booze, like vodka would work because of the alcohol, whatever. But a dear and sweet lady friend of mine who helped me centralize a disability and benefits function at a very large local corporation taught me a lot about the medical, about the body. And I would ask her as hardest questions as I possibly could. She actually worked in Saudi Arabia for 10 years. Her husband worked for Aramco. She is just one of the brightest Christian, down-to-earth, sweetest, kindest, loveliest ladies I've ever seen. And she's honest. Like I remember her husband came in the room one time. Dan was so nice. Came in the room and he goes, how are you? And she's like, yeah, we're just sitting here gossiping. And she was just talking, you know, she had a talk with me and talk of her friend. And so basically she was just cueing him into, yeah, we're not talking about anything too important, honey, you know. And so I just love this woman. She homeschooled her grandchildren. Her daughter went to law school, like just classic and quality people. But anyway, to be specific, she gave the example of her husband having some sort of injury on his neck. I'm not going to be specific so that I don't misquote, but let's just say it was a crushed disc. She said it took a very long time to heal. She saw the majority of complications globally is kind of the way I would ask her questions, but you know, from her experience offshore in another country, and onshore in America, you know, came from bacteria, things getting inside, past this membrane. What is the membrane? Our skin, the largest organ we have. So what we breathe, what we ingest, the water, the quality of the liquids, you know, there is a large, and it's good. There's a large segment of, well, I'm speculating there, but in America for the longest time, you know, I think I was under the impression that the best of the best, just like in the 70s, like they smoke, right? Like doctors were on television promoting cigarettes. You know, same, there's sort of like this elite or uppityness to like drinking, sipping brandy, or I don't know if that's a thing, but I'm just saying, like, you know, but to glamorize the consumption, and I mean, not just one night a week or one time a month, every once in a while acting, you know, oh, we're gonna do something special, dessert like ish, but like on a regular basis, consuming alcohol is not good for the brain, period. Also, when it comes to our kids in college, alcohol consumption and drug consumption, even if it's caffeine, okay, is not healthy. So, you know, muscle. So I want you guys to think about biology. I want you to think about chemistry insofar as what we know basically is absolutely available information on the web and in America, and in other places where the internet isn't censored, or people have the freedom to search. And so if you think about your body, and it being in balance, is it ever wise to get high? Is it ever wise to take an opioid? Is it ever wise, to, I don't know. Just don't overdo it. But like this nonsense of you can get like cancer from broccoli and water, and people have got to stop, okay? Like good old common sense and prudence and just being a good steward of whatever you're blessed with, including your body, people, is just super important. So you ready? Okay. Sometimes I have bone pain. Sometimes I have absolute muscle spasms. I have not done a plank in probably, I guarantee you I have not done a plank since probably late June, mid-June, because I haven't been to FIA, and we do planks a lot. We don't do burpees as much, but it just depends on the leadership, right? Okay, watch. Ready? Okay, I can feel that. My shoulder is shaking inside. I can feel a tremble inside my body. And yet I don't want to not put pressure on my shoulder. I was asked to identify and articulate the pain. Sometimes it's bone pain. Sometimes it's deep, like tissue, nerve, and also like I've been putting these hot presses, these like heat presses, not just like at night, like the heating pad. I've just been trying to take care of my body without being a big fat baby. So that's it. That's all I got for you today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining me. And like for once in my life recently, I put on some makeup today. My neighbors and I decided to go have a nice lunch. And so I hope you do something nice for yourself today that takes care of the most sacred part of every person, which is your spirit. And this, I used to tell my kids, like, for any of you want to go woo-woo or Reiki or, cosmic or power of attraction, I don't care. But like, no matter what, in every single culture, just think about it. If you make love to somebody, if you kiss somebody, this like aura, if you want, I don't even use those words, but you know what I mean? Like this matters. Your heart, your face, your mind, your soul, your breath, okay? Now, when it comes to this upcoming election, all I got to say is please listen to the common sense, and please watch out for anybody who is unequivocally supporting unions, because by law, unions get to promise the moon, the stars, and they are never obligated by law, ever. And many Americans think there's power in numbers, but the union Ponzi scheme is, I'll just save that one for one of the experts. But yeah, talk to someone about that one, right? All right, folks, I'm out, and God bless you good. And really, do something lovely for somebody today. If it's just for yourself, okay. It's not most optimal. We were born to love and give love. And so, yeah, do something kind. And like my kids, I used to write him notes on his banana. He used to get so mad at me. I'd put things in his lunch that I need to get out of the cupboard. And she, the two younger ones, my daughter had no problem just like giving things away or whatever. My son would say, Mom, don't send this. And I go, well, you're going to have to give it away. And he didn't. I don't like cupcakes, with icing, whatever. He really, really has an egg allergy. One of his best buds was like, Mrs. Thor, can you have him, when he was little, will you please have, I want him to have my, piece of cake. And I'm like, oh, honey, I let him regulate that. And he really doesn't, I wasn't even super keyed into how allergic this kid was to eggs. He listened to his body. So yeah, I mean, I'm blessed. I've got 3 amazing, great kids that are in their 20s, so second decade of life. And yeah, I just want you to be mindful, be smart, and reason things out. And don't always be gullible, as in take the bait, as in the worm, get hooked, lined, sinker, and then pulled in like a cat fisher, like a expert fisher person. Right? Are you with me? I just looked at it looks like that's floating, but it's just on a pillow. All right. God bless you good. Remember, fact check, and be wise, be smart, be intelligent, and be sure you vote. Love you. And vote intelligently. Please vote intelligently. The loudest, the proudest, the most loud and obnoxious doesn't mean that it's right or righteous. And oftentimes, I'm serious, people that are more conservative, they just don't join the argument, and you don't have to either. So yeah, hopefully no riots, but America's vote matters and our democracy matters. It just does. Okay, bye.